Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Luukswinkels. Welcome back to lesson 20 on my course How to Compose Classical Music for Dummies. And this lesson is not really a lesson, this is the music theory test. So we have done a whole lot of stuff during this course. We have learned how to read notes in G, F and alto clef. We now know how to construct and recognize the major, natural minor and harmonic scale, as well as a lot of chords, the major, minor and diminished chords. We also learned some seventh chords, the major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, the minor 7, which is a flat 3 and flat 7, and the dominant 7th chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. We learned a lot about key signatures, because you just look at the last note, E major or E minor. Well, we have 4 sharps in this case, which makes it E major. This was the funny example I had. I think it was in lesson 5 or 6. It's a really long time ago. We learned chord functions, which is incredibly important. We have a tonic, a predominant, also referred to as subdominant, a dominant, and in the last lesson we also learned the secondary dominant chord. And in the major key, 1, 3 and 6 has a tonic function, 2 and 4 has a predominant function, and 5 and 7 has a dominant function. We learned how to read sheet music once again with repeat signs, more repeat signs, with articulations, dynamics, because the dots meant we repeated once, so repeat, and this is A, B and B again. The cap of fin was we went to the start until fin, and this was A, B, A, C. All different stuff. We learned ear training. We learned I have taught so many things during this course. So we trained our ears to hear the diatonic intervals, different chords, cadences, and also progressions that are on a major scale, as listed here below. And we had the 1, 5 of 6, the 6, which is kind of a new-ish progression we learned in the previous lesson. We learned how to analyze sheet music. First, analyze key. What are the basic diatonic triads? I mean, in a major key, 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor, 7 is diminished. And then we can fill in the Roman numerals to identify a piece, to get more information out of a piece. And we also learned a little bit about making melodies over a progression with guide notes and chords and notes that are part of a chord, which we did in lesson 18, if I'm correct. So, when you've watched everything, it's now time for the test. And I know test sounds a little bit like school, and you have to succeed and blah blah blah, but you don't have to see it that way. See this as a great opportunity to know if you understand everything. The test is not mandatory. I'm not going to judge you. There is no pressure on you. This is just for you to know if you understand everything. So in the description of this video you will find a link that leads to a Google Drive folder, which we have some information, and then you have the music theory test, which has a printed part which you should print, and then the ear training questions, which you will again find in the description of this video and probably also in the pinned comment. So you should not cheat, because this test is not mandatory. This is just an opportunity again for you to know if you really understand everything. If you do not want to make this test, just don't waste your time. I'm not going to judge you, but if you have watched all lessons, just do it, right? It is 1 hour of your time to make this test. And I put a lot of time into it, so it will be really appreciated if at least 3 people will make this test. That would make me really happy. So next week we are going to start with composing, because it's called How to Compose Classical Music for Dummies after all. So, and I expect you to know most theory provided in the previous lessons. So again, making this test is a really good way to know if you understand everything. If you make the tests, you can submit it to me, just scan them in. I will review the test and I will mail you back, and I will tell you exactly the things you do know, and I will exactly tell you the things you find difficult, and I will give some extra information, some extra examples to make sure you will learn from your mistakes. So that will be next lesson. Next lesson we start the final project by composing the first A section, which will all make sense in next lesson. And it is suggested you do the test before the next lesson. So I wish you good luck with the music theory test. You don't need to know the circle of fifths because you get them with the test provided, because I'm such a nice guy. So yeah, this actually already was lesson 20. There is not really much to say. Just go make your test. And my name is Luukswinkels, and I will hopefully see you in lesson 21 when we are going to compose ourselves.